Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining. I'm just setting up a couple of the last minute bits. I hope you've all got a cup of tea. I certainly do. I'll be drinking from that periodically during the service so that I will be staying hydrated. Service is set to last about half an hour. Maybe a bit more. Some of you know what I'm like. But get refreshed, sit on the sofa, get YouTube on your TV, tablet, laptop, phone, whatever. Get your cup of tea. This is going to probably be the most comfortable service I have ever taken part in. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I'm very hopeful that everything will work, and we'll just give it another minute or so for as many people to join in as possible. I know that many people have let me know that they're wanting to take part and wanting to interact, and it takes some people a little bit longer. I know that some people have said hello in chat. Some people have said hello by sending me a text. I won't be checking my texts during this time, so if you can use the live chat feature, I would highly recommend it, mainly because that's what's on my screen in front of me now, and it means that I'll be able to interact. This is not something I've done before. This is not something the church has done before, and I'm a little nervous. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the service. We've got a couple of things planned. We're going to try and keep it as close to regular as possible. Obviously, with everything that's going on, we can't keep it 100% regular. You will see up that side. See, not used to this. Up that side, it will let you know where you can find us on other social media sites, Facebook, and definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I'll be telling you something very exciting about what's coming up in the future on this exact YouTube channel. So right below this video where you can see my face, just click the red subscribe button if you've got a Google account. If you've got a Google account, also please do use the live chat so that I'm not sat here talking to myself. I love talking, but hopefully we'll get more people involved. And during this time, I think would be good to start off with a prayer. So if you could all join me in a quiet time of prayer, that would be really good. God, I just want to pray at this very moment that wherever we are, whether we're sat in our living rooms, whether we're sat in bed, whether we've only just woken up, I just want to pray for every single person that's watching right now, and I want to pray for myself as well. I want to pray, first of all, that everything that we've set up will work, that hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can't, please do let me know, but hopefully everything technologically will work, and I just want to pray that God will bless us during this time. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and maybe some of us feel like we've got nothing going on, but for this next 30 minutes or so, we're solely focused on you, God. Let's just bless us during this time, and as we take this time out of our not so busy days at the moment, we just want to pray that you'll bless us during this time. You'll speak into our hearts, you'll speak into our families, you'll speak into our homes that we're stuck in right now, and I just pray that you will be there with us every single step of the way, throughout this entire thing that's going on, however long it lasts, because you are the God that does last forever, and I just want to pray that you will be there for us, holding us, walking with us, and just all that we need at this exact moment in time. Amen. So, the world's a bit weird, isn't it? Things are going on. Life's a bit different. Definitely different. So what do we as the church have going on that you guys can take part in over the course of this next week and over the course of these coming months, however long this lockdown lasts? We don't know how long it's going to last, but we are still going as the church, and that's something that you'll hear about in the sermon to come. What are we doing as a church? Well, I'm glad to see that quite a lot of you has managed to join the YouTube channel, so that you'll be able to take part in the service that we have going on here every Sunday. It will be normal time, 10:45 a.m. Yeah, I still have to get up early. And there will be lots of other things on this YouTube channel as well. One of the things that we're trialing is a sofa sermon type series. So basically there will be 5 to 10 minute YouTube videos that you will be able to click on, that you will get notifications for if you subscribe below, and essentially it's just so that we can stay in contact with what God's word has got for us during this time, that we can stay in contact with God, and that we can just I know that a lot of us have other things to be doing and want to be doing housework or whatever we can during this time, but it's so that we can remind ourselves that we need to take that 5 minutes of respite every single day, to just think and commune with God and be there with him. And I think this will be a good way for us to do this. So look out for those. I think the first one will be going live on Tuesday. So look out on Tuesday on this YouTube channel right here for something quite special, because I'm hoping this will carry on even after all of this has been resolved. I'm hoping this is something that the church will carry on, and I think it will be. For the younger ones out there, the youth and the kids, I know that we have Zoom conference going. For those of you who don't know what Zoom is, it's a video conferencing service where we will be able to connect as many people as possible. For those that want in to that, so for those that want to buy into that, please do send your email to grimsbynazarene@gmail.com, and somebody from the church will, most likely me, will get in contact with you and help you set that up and be everything that you need for that. And give you all the information that you need. And that also stands for the Bible study, which is tonight, usual time. We can't meet together, but we can meet through the power of the internet and through virtual church. And for those of you who are wondering what we're going to be doing about worship, as in music worship, at the moment we don't have any way, obviously, because nobody's allowed outside, to do live worship with our worship band, but I know that the worship band are still meeting. They are still active, and they're still practicing, so they won't disappear anywhere, and as soon as we get back to church they'll be back. But until then, check our Facebook page every day, and if you look up here, I can't check this mirror thing, if you look up here, systematically it'll pop up and tell you where you can find us on Facebook. On Facebook we are at Grimsby Nazarene, and every single day, every single morning, there will be a YouTube link for a worship song that you'll be able to find there, just to give you a bit of an uplift whilst maybe you're doing. There you go, it's right there. You can find us there, and just to give you a bit of an uplift, because music's a big part of my life, and I know that at times music really lifts the spirit, and particularly worship music, and again, taking that time with God every day is something that we need to make sure that we're doing, even in these weird times. I want to open up for a time of prayer requests now. Now, if anybody has any prayer requests, I am going to look at my phone now. If anybody has them and knows how to get in contact with myself, then please do send me a text or a message on Facebook, or use the live chat feature for YouTube. Obviously, we'll be praying for the church unity as a whole, and obviously this entire coronavirus situation. But if there's anything else that people would desperately like prayer for, we can all join together in a time of prayer after this. So yeah, I'm going to look at my phone and check if anybody has sent me a text of anything that they want prayer for, and then in a moment we'll take some time and have a time of prayer. just to let you know, your messages will take a few seconds to come through, so if there's a little bit of silence, I apologise, but there is a little bit of latency on the stream. Nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Please do let me know. YouTube, I've just got a text, perfect. I've got a text from somebody, I'm not exactly sure who, they didn't leave their name, but they asked if we could pray for Rob, so we'll be doing that. If that person, whoever it was, could actually just send me a text with who they actually are, that would be great. Joe has requested that we could pray for this entire coronavirus situation, for his friends, family and health, and can we pray for Kerry, as unfortunately they have the flu, which coincidentally Joe has also caught. Oh, that's Linda. Hi, Linda. I'm just kind of glad that Linda managed to get it working. Okay, let's take some time together now and just pray into these difficult situations and these difficult times that we face in the world at the moment. God, I just want to pray for every single person that's out there, wherever they are. I ask that you bless them at this time. Although we can't meet together, we can meet with you, because you are everywhere and you are everything that we need at any particular moment. And I just want to pray that you will be everything that these people need that are on the end of this live stream right now. I just want to pray that whether it be essentials that they haven't got, whether it would just be peace that they haven't been able to get yet, whether they just be worrying about this situation. It is a very worrying time, but it does say, one of my favourite verses, and people will know this about me, is have no anxiety about anything. And often that's very difficult to actually maintain, but God is there with us. God is our peace, and we just hope and pray that you will be there with us every step of the way, however long this takes, and that you will be the resolution to this issue that the world is facing right now, and that you will be in every home with every person, believer or non-believer, that they will just know that you are there, know that you are with them, and give them a peace, give them a time where they can just be with you, and I just pray that overall this situation is resolved exactly as you want it to be, Lord. I just want to pray for our church unity as a whole. The nation is at its most divided right now, but God can surpass all of those boundaries. He can break down all of those walls. We may be sat in four walls right now, but God is inside those walls with us, because he is inside of us. And I just pray that he will speak with us now, that he will be everything that we need, that he will be there with us, that he will continue to be our peace, our protector, our defender, everything, every title that is given. I know there are so many titles for God in the Bible, but he will be every single one of them right now as we face this pandemic, this panic, this huge issue. But it's not a huge issue to God. And we know that if there is anybody that can beat this, it's you, God. You're the one that can bring peace to any situation and can heal and perform any miracle. And we know that you will, and we stand and sit probably in faith right now, and that you will bring a resolution and an end to this situation. I want to pray for every single family unit right now. I want to pray for all of those that are stuck in together. Families aren't the easiest thing, and I just want to pray for mental peace across everybody. I just want to pray that we won't go star crazy, that we'll find things to do, that we will be together in unity once again fairly soon, but that we'll be at peace, and that we will be happy even during the most desperate of times, because we have a reason to be happy, and you are our reason to be happy, Lord. And I just want to pray finally this other thing that I've written down. I will pray for people's requests in a moment. The technology. This is something very ambitious for your church. It's very, very ambitious for this church. And I just want to pray that as we take this step of faith, I know that you will be with us, Lord, every step of the way, and that the technology will hold out, and that we will be able to resume as a normal life as possible during this obviously very difficult time. Jackie has just asked if we could pray for the key workers. Definitely should pray for the key workers. Those that still have to go out to work, that risk their lives every single day. Both those that work in care, but also those that work in supermarkets. I just want to pray for those right now, that they will be able to remain protected from this virus, that they will be able to continue to serve us in society, and that I just want to pray a big prayer for the NHS right now. They are right on the front line. They see people getting sick every single day. And I just want to pray that we will protect this amazing thing that you have given us, and that they will be healthy and wise to treat anybody that is struggling with anything, not just the coronavirus, but anybody that's struggling with anything at this time. Amen. So prayer is something very, very, very important, and I'm hoping that we covered the majority of these things. I did forget to mention, and I hope that you can all pray for both Kerry, as she's got the flu, and Rob as well. Rob has symptoms of the coronavirus, and we just pray for him during this time. This is a bit weird. This is very weird. But I'm going to do my best to deliver some kind of sermon. I've got it over here. My apologies for looking off screen. If things were normal, which life often isn't, if things were normal right now, I would actually be called to preach upon Zacchaeus. That was what was part of the series, and that is what I'm going to preach upon today. But weirdly, I came back to it the other day, and I felt that God really gave me something special for this particular moment in time. Obviously, we're just dealing with what's going on outside. I don't know Ruth. Ruth did ask if Rob was Linda's son. I don't believe so. I don't know, actually. Sorry, I don't know. But sermon, this is going to be the most relaxed sermon I've ever delivered. These are not normal times. These are probably the most strange times that I've ever had to live through in my entire life. Some of you may recall other times when measures like this were put in across the whole country, but this is very weird for me. In my lifetime, this is probably the weirdest and strangest things that I've ever had to witness. And yet still, I believe God has given me something from this story that I will be giving, and that I think will be a benefit to the church. Society at this point is, at its most fractured. It is at its most disconnected. It's at its most isolated. And we're aided in some ways by social media, by doing what we're doing right here, Facebook, and all of the other ways that we can contact family members, friends, and people that, loved ones that we want to be in contact with. But society is in a quarantine. That's the reality of the situation at the moment, which quarantine literally means to separate yourself away from others. To separate yourself away from others. This goes totally and utterly 1000% against what the church tries to promote. The church has always promoted unity, teamwork, togetherness, fellowship. All of these things are things that we hear so many times in the church. But yet society at this particular moment says no. And I'm not saying that what they're saying is wrong. These measures are very important and are saving people's lives. But it goes against what the church tries to promote and what the church is about. And we are continuing to do our best in these adverse conditions, and I will talk about that when I've finished. Zacchaeus didn't face a global shutdown or a global pandemic, but he did face one difficulty. And I think if we turn now, I've got my actual Bible here. As much as I love virtual things, reading from an actual Bible is one of my favourite things to do. If we could turn now to Luke 19, that would be good. I'll give you a second to turn to it. I'll just take another drink. Luke 19, sorry. Zacchaeus meets Jesus. Jesus was going through the city of Jericho. A man was there named Zacchaeus, who was a very important tax collector. He was very wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was, but was not able to because he was too short to see above the crowd. He ran ahead to a place where Jesus would come, and he climbed a sycamore tree so that he could see him. When Jesus came to that place, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down. I must stay at your house today." Zacchaeus came down quickly and welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to complain. "Jesus is staying with a sinner." But Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, "I will give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anyone, I will pay back 4 times more." Jesus said to him, "Salvation has come to this house today, because this man also belongs to the family of Abraham. The Son of Man came to find lost people and save them." Now that's a very brief story in the Bible, for those who didn't know that story already. Zacchaeus didn't face a global shutdown, he didn't face a global pandemic, but he did face one difficulty. He was short. I can't relate to this difficulty. He was too short to see over the crowd. It says here in verse 3, Luke 19 verse 3, wanted to see Jesus but he was not able to because he was too short. Zacchaeus did everything that he could to see Jesus. He was faced with this issue, not that being short's an issue. He was faced with this issue of being too short. He was faced with this problem, this wall, this difficulty. But yet he still did everything that he could to just get a glimpse for a second of Jesus. Now, Zacchaeus wasn't going for, "Hey Jesus, come to my house and have a meal." No, that's not what he was going for. Zacchaeus was just going to have a look. That's all he needed. He only needed to see him with his eyes. Little did he know, obviously, that Jesus would say, "Please, I want to come and have a meal with you at your house." He only wanted to see him go past on a donkey. He didn't know Jesus was come to his house. He would have been satisfied for seeing the Messiah for a short moment. Are we satisfied? Do we spend time with God? Do we do everything that we can just to spend that tiny moment with God? This is kind of where the church is at the moment. I mentioned earlier that there are multiple things happening right now that the church has set up so that we can continue the best way that we can. But what's happening in society goes against every fibre of the church, being split and alone and away from others with limited engagement. This isn't what the church is about. This isn't what we promote. This isn't what we're called to be. We're called to be together in unity. But yet, at the moment, we face a huge, seemingly unsurmountable barrier. But we know somebody that can. We know somebody that will. And we know somebody that can be with us whilst we're being patient And whilst we're sitting inside, we know somebody that can. The church has been faced, similar to how Zacchaeus was, the church has been faced with this difficulty. Not being short, this is a very much a bigger difficulty than being short. We've been faced with society saying no. But yet we are doing everything that we can through multiple different measures to continue the great work of this church. And I've written here, but yet this church still lives. And I may say that it's stronger than ever. This church probably is stronger than it has ever been, right at this very moment. And that's weird to think about. While society is shutting down, people are struggling. I'm not saying that we're not struggling, but this church is stronger than ever. It's so often said, and it sometimes loses meaning, that church is the people and not the building. And nowhere is this more true than now. Than right at this very moment. We are not allowed to the building at church. We cannot go on a Sunday and sit at the chairs at church like we always do. Society said no. But yet nowhere is it more true right now that the church is the people. It's the people that are here right now. You on your sofa, wherever you are, whoever you are. Church is the people and not the building, and nowhere is that more true than now. This church is overcoming all of the barriers that we currently face in the same way that Zacchaeus did. We're doing everything we can at this moment to still continue. We're doing everything at this short moment in time, and this season will pass. God will bring us through this. With one another and with help from his word, we will move forward. We will change. We will continue. This church will get through this. Society as a whole will get through this. And there are lots of people in society, and this bit gets a bit. There are lots of people in society right now that don't have what we have, that don't have faith, that don't have God with them every single moment of the day. We do. We just have to call upon him. We just have to make sure that when we're doing all of these things, and I have spent so much time baking in the I've been out in the garden more times than I think I've been out in the garden in the past year. I don't go outside that much. But whilst we're doing all of these things, take some time for God. Take some time to just sit down and think about what God has got for you. And I have to say it, the preacher always says it, I'm coming to a close. Over the course of the week, there will be multiple ways that you can engage, and I'm going to go through that in a moment. And we'll continue with the work that this church is doing. And even when the world is at its most divided and its most isolated, this church and God's people will stand united as ever. Amen? Do we agree? I agree. It will stand at its most united as ever. When did Daniel have his most faith? When he was literally in a fire. Are we in that fire right now? And do we have the faith like Daniel does? Will we do everything that we can every day, every single day, to take that time to be with God? And just one more thing to point out about the story. Zacchaeus climbed that tree to just look at God, to just look at Jesus and to watch him go by. He took the time out of his day to spend a tiny amount of time looking at God. But yet God repaid that tenfold over and over and over again in the fact that he came to his house and spent time with him, broke bread with him. I can't imagine what that's like. I can only imagine what that's like. It's short, it's sweet, but but it's true, and I just, this, if you remember anything, even when the world is at its most divided and isolated, quarantined, away from each other, this church and God's people will stand as united as ever. God will bring us through, and we will come back even stronger when this is all over, and hopefully we'll come back with a huge party. Because I know that a lot of people have prizes and things, and chocolates, and we missed Mother's Day, so we're coming back with a huge party once all of this is over. God's people will stand united as ever. Please say amen if you agree with that. I'm just going to pray at the end. Pray over this word, and that it will speak into our lives during this time. God, I just want to pray that what we've just listened to will be uplifting, will give us a sense of purpose, that will give us something to do, something to think about. Because you are there every single day, and we need to make sure that we're making time for you. Not making time for you, but taking time for you. There's enough time. There will always be enough time in the day for you. But we just have to take that opportunity. And it's a wonderful opportunity that you give us every single day to commune with you, to be with you, to talk to you. And I just want to pray for everybody, wherever they are, however much of that they heard through children screaming or whatever, that it will speak into their hearts at this moment, that they will be able to join right now in unity, not just with our church and everybody within our fellowship, not just within people within our denomination, but everybody, every Christian that is meeting right now, that we will be able to come out of this, God's people, as one, united as ever, moving forward, with your help, your strength, your word. Amen. So there's something we're missing. Something I look forward to every single week for one reason only, because it tells you what's going on in God's church. And right now, in God's church, the building, nothing's going on. But does that stop us? No, it does not. It certainly does not. And we're going to move on to the notices now. Now, unfortunately, I can't get more in here. And Matthew isn't here to aid me and hold things up. But I'll do my best, and I hope this is good enough for you guys. So this week within the church, you can see here, hopefully, an infographic about what of the different things are going on at the church this week. So as of Monday the 30th, I believe, as of Monday the 30th at 5:30, the children will not be forgotten. The children will be meeting, and they will be spending time together, playing games, taking time with one another at 5:30. If you want to be part of this, please do send an email to that email that is there, grimsbynazarene@gmail.com. And we'll get you all connected in with this. This is for the children that attend Caravan. They will not be forgotten during this time. They may be having a wonderful time off school, running around the house, probably doing your head in right now, but they will not be forgotten by God, and we will not forget them either. So please do take into consideration all of these things and get involved with as much as you can, because this is a big step of faith for both this church, and I believe a big step in the right direction, and I believe it's somewhere that God's taking us in the future. On Tuesday, we're hoping to release a new sofa sermon video. So basically, they will just be 5 minutes spent, between 5 and 10 minutes spent in God's Word, just thinking about what's going on, and just looking at a little verse. That'll hopefully be from both myself or Robert. We're looking at how to do that through technology. Wonderful things, technology. Every single day, and I put it here on Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, you'll be able to see it. Every single day, at about 11 o'clock in the morning, we'll be sharing a link to a YouTube video of a worship song, just to give everybody an uplift, to remind everybody to take that time every single day, even if it's just to put some worship music on, to be with God and to spend time thinking about him and what he's got for his kingdom, both at this very moment whilst we're all stuck inside, but also thinking about what God's got for us when we are once again unleashed into the world. On Thursday, the youth again will not be forgotten, similar to the children. We actually met this Thursday. Well, we didn't meet together, but we conferenced together, and we spoke to one another, and we played some games through the power of the internet, and obviously on Thursday as well, a new sofa sermon video. Next Sunday, you'll be able to join us, similar to how we have today, through the Sunday service. If you hit the subscribe button below, it may even send you a notification to let you know. But don't forget, next Sunday, 10:45 normal time, the church will continue. Bible study 6:30 every single Sunday, and that is actually happening this Sunday as well. So this evening, for those of you who want to be involved within the Bible study, you can use a program on your phone, laptop, or or if you have a microphone and camera, anywhere else, comes with most smartphones nowadays. At 6:30 tonight, Andrew, I believe, will be leading the Bible study from here, similar to how I am now, but it will be a conversational Bible study where people can take part, join in, interact with one another. A little bit different to how we're doing this, but hopefully will be a huge benefit to those that attend the Bible study and take part in that activity normally. We're trying to keep things as close to normal time as possible so that we don't get out of the routine. Ways that you can connect with us, they keep popping up if you haven't seen them already. Follow us on Facebook for those daily worship videos, but also Facebook will be the place where we're updating the most of the things. So at Grimsby Nazarene on Facebook. I know that a lot of people within the Nazarene circle as a whole, so for those that are not doing services right now, such as Barnsley, are looking to look at other churches. Not look at other churches, but watch other churches during this time when they can't meet. So please do share it with everybody that you know at Grimsby Nazarene. That'll be the place where you get the most updates. If you want email, you can contact us at grimsbynazarene@gmail.com. There will be somebody watching that constantly, so please do contact us at any time, not 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And the church is using a program called Zoom. It's a video conferencing call type program. Email us for more information. The kids, the youth, and the Bible study will be done through Zoom. It's the best way that we've found so far to stay connected to one another and stay interactive during, obviously, when this time is the most uninteractive time. And for those of you who are wishing to still give their tithes and offerings, the church does still have to pay bills during this time, unfortunately. If you wish to continue giving your tithes and offerings, then it can be done in a couple of different ways, those of which are listed there. You can do it by cheque, do it by online bank balance, or you could save it in a jar and give it when the church returns to some sort of state of normality. I'll never say that the church is normal, but when it returns to some state of normality. Now, obviously, we can't put the details of everything on there, so if you want to still continue to give your tithes and offerings, you will have to email or call somebody within the church, and we'll give you more information on all of these methods and how that you can continue to donate to the church. And we thank you for those people that do that. It really does help to keep the church going, even when we're not at the building right now. So, unfortunately, I think that brings us roughly to the end of the service today. I know it wasn't conventional. I know it was a little bit different, but I will be sharing a link right now, well, not right now, but when the live stream finishes, on Facebook, of a worship song So please do go and get your daily dose of worship over there. We can't do it at the moment with the way that things are, but we are making sure that you still get your worship, your music, because music's a big thing for me, and I know it is for a lot of other people as well. I would actually like to. I know that we've basically come to the end of the service now, but I do have the live chat up, and I do have phone and email and things open right now. If anybody would like to send any questions on how they can get involved with different things that I've mentioned, then please leave those now, so that I'll be able to answer those, and then we'll close in prayer at the end. I just want to get as many people involved in these things as possible, so that both we're not just sat at home on our own, but we are able to communicate with one another, and that the work of the church will continue. So if you have any technical questions or want me to contact you after the live stream or whatever, then please do leave a message now for anything, and I will do my best to get to you. I know a lot of people have already asked me to ring them, and I will do my best to do that either today or tomorrow, to get as many people connected in with the different ways as possible. The best way to get in contact with us is through Facebook. The best way to receive updates is through Facebook, at Grimsby Nazarene on Facebook, and that will be the best way that you'll get information on hand whenever we can. I have a question come through that basically asks, how do we... There we go. Yes, Linda has replied to Ruth's question. It is her son Robert that does have the symptoms at the moment. I would like to answer this one question that I've had through. For those that are wanting to be part of the Zoom conference Bible study tonight, could you send me your email to grimsbynazarene@gmail.com. I will leave that slide up at the end for ways in which you can get in contact with us, and we'll be able to get back to you and set that up as soon as possible, so that you can take part in the Bible study that's this evening tonight at 6:30. So hopefully I've answered that question. Okay, I will answer any further questions at the end of the service. I am going to leave the countdown on at the end of the service for 10 minutes or so. So if anybody, and I'll be sat at the computer, so if anybody does have any questions, please do leave them at the end. I wouldn't want anybody to feel that they didn't know how to do something and therefore couldn't take part. So I think we should just close in prayer now. So if we could all just take a moment in our definitely very quiet households to pray right now. God, I just want to pray that you continue to minister to people's hearts in their homes right now. This service may be over, but that doesn't mean that we need to be separate from one another, and it certainly doesn't mean that we need to be separate from you. I pray that you continue to minister to people's hearts over the course of today, from maybe something that they've heard today, or from something that they've thought about today, or during this time, that I know we can only meet for sort of 30 minutes, nearly 45 minutes now, but that you will continue to minister over the course of the today, and that you will be everything that we need. I want to obviously pray you'll be there with us every step of the way through what's going on, and that you'll be able to bring a solution to this and a resolution to this coronavirus outbreak and this thing that is consuming the world right now. And I just want to pray particularly right now for everybody in their homes right now. I thought I'd love staying at home, but now that I don't have the option to go out, It's very difficult, and I just want to pray that you will be there for every single person, that you will lift our spirits, that through the worship song that I'm just about to share, that you will be everything that we need, that we will be able to go about our lives, walk around the living room, just feeling a little bit happier than we did yesterday or this morning before the service. I just want to pray that this worship will bring an uplifting spirit to everybody in their homes right now, and that people will be able to sing along with joy, even during this very difficult time. I want to pray for all of the people that we've mentioned and all of the things that we've got going on over the course of the week. Hope that these things go off without a hitch, and that we can, as I say, remain united as ever with your help and your word. Amen. Thank you all for joining us. We will be live again next week, 10:45, and I hope that we'll be able to see you joining in some of the other bits that we've got going on during the week. Again, please do subscribe down there, so that you'll be able to see when the sofa sermon videos go out, and also please do follow our Facebook page at Grimsby Nazarene. You'll be able to get the most up-to-date news there from what's going on within the church and what's going on about all of the different events. Please do remain in contact with one another during this time. You do not need to be isolated you do need to be isolated at home during this time, but you do not need to be on your own. You can ring, you can text myself or anybody from the church at any time. And I just want to pray that we can defeat this situation, but we just have to remain patient with God's strength. And I really, really do believe that this church is, number one, stronger than ever, and will come out of this stronger than it ever, ever will be. Amen. Please do remember that I will be around for a little while longer until the end of the countdown. For anybody that does have any questions or anything, I will be keeping up with as many people within the chat and that are texting me as possible. I don't want people to be alone right now, and really we want to get as many people involved in all of the church activities that are going on during this week. So if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We need to get as many people involved and connected as possible right now.